guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a really delicious recipe. It's going to be some potato, kale, corn, tomato tacos. And we are using the harvest of the month again, potatoes, but today we're going to use a lot of different kinds of potatoes. So we have different colors. We're also going to throw in some sweet potatoes, and it's going to be really easy to make and really fun to make. So let's take a look at the ingredients. Here are all the lovely ingredients we're going to use today. So first we have the potatoes. You can see we have purple potatoes, yellow potatoes, red potatoes, sweet potatoes. We're going to use some garlic, some tomatoes. We have corn, kale. We have some seasonings. So we have adobo and cayenne, salt and pepper, but again, feel free to use whatever you want. I'm going to use avocado oil, but you can use any kind of vegetable oil. The tortillas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap these in aluminum and put them in the oven to warm while we're cooking. And then for toppings, we have queso fresco, we have limes, we have avocado, Cholula, red cabbage. Again, take this however you want and you can add whatever you want on top. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the oven on to 350 just to heat up the tortillas while we're cooking so that when we have everything ready, they'll be nice and warm and ready to eat. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fill a pot with water enough to boil the potatoes in, and once you get it on the stove, put it on high heat so that it boils, and you can add a little bit of salt to it, and we'll let that boil as we cut the potatoes. So we're going to be using a lot of different colors of potatoes. We have purple potatoes, we have red potatoes, we have yellow potatoes, and we have sweet potatoes. And the reason why we are using all these different colors of potatoes is because the more colorful a potato is, the more nutrients it has in it. So when you hear people say eat a rainbow, it's because the more colorful a fruit or a vegetable is, that usually is a good sign that it has a lot of vitamins and nutrients in it. We're going to cut them into 1-inch pieces. So for a small one like this, I'm just going to go like that. Another thing is you want to make sure to keep the skins on. The skins are where you're going to find most of the nutrients. So even though they sometimes are a little bit icky, you do want to keep them on because you'll get more vitamins that way. And then the sweet potatoes are a little bit larger, so you can just start by cutting off the ends. Now that we have this beautiful bowl of potatoes, I'm going to wait just a little bit longer for the water to boil, so I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to chop up the garlic. So I'm going to do 2 cloves of garlic. Feel free to add more if you want it to be more of a garlic flavor, but I'm just going to use 2. Now, since the water's boiling, I'm going to add the potatoes. So I just washed these tomatoes and I'm going to cut them in half while I wait for the potatoes to boil. So these have boiled for about 4 minutes. I let them go a little bit longer. So turn off your stove, bring them over to a little strainer, and we're going to strain those. Okay, also now is a great time to put your tortillas in the oven. we're going to saute the garlic and the potatoes in a pan. You can use any kind of vegetable oil you want. I'm going to use avocado oil and turn it on a medium-high heat. You're going to saute the garlic until it is a light golden brown, so just keep giving it a little stir every once in a while. And now we're going to add the potatoes in. And then if you want, you can add a little bit of salt. So while these potatoes are sauteing, they're gonna go until they're kind of all a light golden brown. We can wash the kale. Eventually we're gonna take the potatoes out of the skillet and we're gonna put them in a separate bowl. We're gonna cook the kale, the tomatoes, and the corn together, and then we're gonna add it all back together in the end. And if there are pieces like this that kind of have more of a stem, you can just pull the leaves off of the stem. And also make sure to keep checking your potatoes. Once the potatoes are almost fully cooked, then you can add some spices. So I'm going to add adobo, which is a blend of different spices, and some cayenne pepper. So now you can get another bowl and you're going to move the potatoes into a separate bowl, and then we're going to cook the kale, the tomatoes, and the corn in the same pan. Nothing to say, and everything gets in the way. Seems you cannot be replaced, and I'm the one who'll stay. You also want to turn it on to a lower heat, so maybe about a 4 or like a low medium. You know, it's not the same as it was. The corn is super easy. You can just have a can of corn and you're going to drain it, so get all of the liquid out of it. And once the kale cooks down a little bit, that's when we're going to add the tomatoes and the corn and maybe a little bit of salt and pepper or any spices that you want to add. The kale is kind of a brighter green color, and that's a sign that you can add your other stuff. So you can add in the tomatoes and add in the corn. Nobody's coming to help. Your daddy lives with yourself. He just wants to know that you're well. And then you can turn up the heat just for maybe 2 minutes or so. Something you can do while that is cooking is you can prepare some queso fresco as a topping. So all you need to do is just crumble it. I'm going to put it in a little bowl just to make it easier for serving. And the last things we can prepare are some lime wedges and some avocado. Because my pan is a little bit too small to combine the potatoes and these vegetables together, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a tortilla, I'm going to get them out of the oven, lay some of this down, and then put the potatoes on top, and then add whatever toppings you'd like. I love the colorful clothes you wear. If you want to, at this point, you could add maybe like a little line of sour cream or some kind of mayonnaise or anything that is a little bit creamy that you can use as a base. On the wind that lifts her perfume through the air, I'm picking up good vibrations. Here is our finished product. Again, you can put any kind of toppings you want on it. Definitely take it your own way. So now I'm gonna go and enjoy this.